Hey, what's going on, guys? So if you're anything like me, you've been playing a lot of games throughout 2017, and it's been kind of a, kind of year for games. So in this video, I want to talk about the different types of games that have come out from January up until now, and just kind of talk about, you know, the stuff that, you know, the games I like, the games I didn't like, games that I have tried, games I haven't tried, and I would love to get your guys' opinion on the games that I haven't tried if you've actually played them. Later in the video, we're going to talk about the games that haven't yet come out yet and my opinion on those games, and hopefully we can hold out some hope for the rest of 2017. So the first game we'll talk about got released in January, which was Resident Evil 7. And I have to say, I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, playing it all the way back from when I was a little kid on the PlayStation and having like the little pixel characters. I love the game, fell in love with the lore of Resident Evil, the story of Umbrella and everything. I actually enjoyed the movies quite a bit. For some reason this year I did not play Resident Evil 7. I don't know, for some reason I just wasn't, you know, the whole, you know, thing with like VR and first person didn't, you know, entertain me whatsoever. So I actually never played it. So if you did play it, let me know in the comments below if you guys enjoyed this. I kind of saw mixed reviews for the game, but I still love the fact that they're actually going back to kind of the roots of Resident Evil, going back to the survival horror instead of, you know, the gun-blazing type of gameplay. Actually, the one thing I'm actually really anticipating and really can't wait for is the remakes of, like, Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. If you guys have ever played those games before, you know, they are the benchmarks that really put Resident Evil on the map after the first game. So, you know, those games being remaked, I would just love to see what they look like. Next game on the list is For Honor. If you were a dumbass like me that actually bought this game, I feel so bad for you because I feel sorry for myself. I cannot believe I wasted so much money on this crap game. Now, I do understand that they're actually trying to make the game a little bit better, but really, I don't know any person whatsoever that actually plays this game like in a competitive way. The one thing I actually remember about this game is, yeah, the combat was fun, and trying to figure it out was kind of a pain in the ass, but you know, more dedication you put in the game would be, you know, great to actually be a master of it. But also, it had terrible ways of being able to cheat and be able to manipulate different characters, as well as the connection. Like, my god, if I think the connections in Titanfall 2 can be bad every now and then, the connection in this game was terrible. And the next game that released in March, it was another Ubisoft game, just like For Honor. And if you were burned out, you know, from For Honor just like I was, or maybe even The Division, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands was just one thing that most people didn't actually buy. Very few people bought this game just because they're not actually trusting Ubisoft very much. But when I picked up Ghost Recon Wildlands, it was actually a lot of fun. I mean, for an open world game, kind of a Grand Theft Auto in the in South America, it was really cool just kind of picking missions on what you want to do, what you don't want to do, and being able to select your missions on the difficulty and being able to just do whatever the hell you want to do. If you want to go and attack the harder bases to go after, you can do that. If you want to go after the easy ones, you can do that as well. I really did like this game because it gave you a lot of freedom, and it actually kind of broke away from the formula of Ghost Recons in the past. Now, if this game is on for sale, I definitely recommend picking it up. Either if you have to buy it at a GameStop or online, definitely pick it up, because not only with a great story, you know, in an open world environment, but they also add a multiplayer to it. So it's definitely worth its while. I'm telling you, you guys are gonna love this next one. Mass Effect Andromeda got released in March of this year, and definitely lived up to expectations. So if you're like me, you bought Mass Effect Andromeda basically just because you loved the trilogy of Mass Effect, and you know, got involved in all the characters and the story and the lore of everything. You definitely did not get your money's worth with this one. Whether it be the terrible scenes and textures in the game, my face hurts.
Sorry, my face is tired.
The fact too that BioWare literally just dropped this thing and was like, yep, we're done! I would not recommend anybody picking this game up. There's no dedication whatsoever into this game because they've completely wiped their hands with it, and there's not going to be any more expansions to this game. The next game is Friday the 13th, The Game, and it released in May, and I have to say, this game was actually pretty entertaining for an indie game. So in the game, you actually take either control of a counselor or Jason, and you're either trying to kill all the counselors or you're trying to run away from Jason, and it is probably one of the most terrifying games out there if it works. The game definitely suffers from, you know, different connections. It was a really bad launch, and I think that's actually what took a lot of people away from the game. But for a game being $40, and they're still trying to make updates to the game to make it a lot better for people, it's definitely a game worth buying if you have the 40 bucks. I know this next game is going to have kind of a mixed opinion. So Destiny 2 got released in early September to a lot of people anticipating this game for several weeks to months and really enjoying Destiny 1 and just cannot wait to play Destiny 2. Now, I will say for the first couple of weeks of this game, it's been amazing to either do strikes, you know, level up your character, get the high level gear, you know, get exotics, either be weapons or equipment, and doing the raid was fantastic. But I know a lot of people are running into the same problem that I did, where you kind of start running out of things to do once you start leveling your characters up. But one thing that Destiny 2 is actually suffering right now is just a lack of things to do once you've hit in-game stuff. Now, hopefully with a PC port, you'll see a resurgence of people playing this game and having a lot of fun. The problem is that the PC people are going to be running into the same thing that us people on console are running into. So whether your opinion about it be good or bad, I really enjoyed the game. It was a lot of fun in the beginning, and hopefully too with the different expansions that are be coming out with the different seasons. Each season, I think there's 4 seasons. We're in season 1. Hopefully with each expansion, we're going to see more and more content that we can actually play with and keep us in the game. Oh damn! I hope you guys like loot boxes.
Now that's a supply drop.
Shadow of War was released early this month, again one of the most anticipated games of this year. The premise of the entire thing was that it basically just an expansion of Shadow of Mordor, a great game with a great story and being able to conquer enemies and take control of entire armies. Now if you're a person that loves the Middle-earth lore, loves Lord of the Rings, you're definitely going to enjoy this game, especially for somebody that kind of got into Lord of the Rings kind of late in their life. I did enjoy the stories and even the the liberties that they actually took with different characters, I really did enjoy. The problem was that they put in loot boxes in this game. Now people are going to see these loot boxes as just a money grab, and it's probably one of the dumbest things that they did to this game. The funny thing is though, you don't actually need these loot boxes whatsoever. I completed the game just fine without wasting any of my real world money. So it made no sense for putting in loot boxes whatsoever. It's just one thing, I guess, to do for people that have no idea what the hell they're doing. Now, after you finish the 4 acts, there's really not much to do besides just being online, either doing online fortresses or online vendettas until the next expansions come out. So hopefully with these new expansions, if you actually bought the expansion pack, actually add a lot more to the story and to the lore of Shadow of War. Now I'm going to be getting into games that have not yet been released yet since I've made this video. Assassin's Creed Origin comes out in just a few days from now, and I really do look forward to the game, but I do have some concerns. Now, the game takes us back to the time of Julius Caesar and Cleopatra in ancient Egypt. Now, from at least the gameplay videos that I've seen, it looks really cool, and you actually get to see the story of, how the assassins were born. I look forward to, the changes they've made to the game, of it being more of an RPG type of game with loot that drops down from enemies. But I really do hope it doesn't go down the path of Shadow of War. Now I have to say, I've actually been burnt out on the Assassin's Creed, games the past couple of years, just because they were putting out a game after game after game, and the qualities of the games were actually getting really bad. So I really do hope with this break from, making Assassin's Creed games and making Origins, definitely shows that they actually put a lot of time and effort in this game for making it, one, entertaining, but also to have an amazing story. I really did love Desmond Miles' story from Assassin's Creed 1 to Black Flag, and I'm sad they kind of took that away, so I really do hope to see either a resurgence of that story, or hopefully we get a new character that we can kind of, follow through the timelines and see where their past, kind of connects. In November, Call of Duty World War II comes out, and this game is definitely going to be the make it or break it for me for the Call of Duty series. Now I understand they're going back to boots on the ground, and actually playing the beta was a lot of fun, but I'm really not holding my breath for this being a great game. Quality for games that have been released year after year have just been going downhill, especially too with the introduction of loot boxes, supply crates, whatever you want to call them, have definitely hampered the popularity of games and have definitely made the fun factor of some of these games completely drop. Now I do look forward to going back to World War II, going back to the roots, and I love World War II history, so that's the one thing I'm really looking forward to. I just really hope they make it as accurate as possible. The single player looks great, and I love the new war mode that's been added to the multiplayer. Now the game might be really successful, but I have to say the one thing that's turning me away from a lot of these games nowadays is the stupid loot boxes. And speaking of loot boxes, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is the last game that I'm really anticipating for in 2017, and besides the loot boxes, it's actually a pretty fun game. Now I think we can all agree that Star Wars Battlefront in 2015 was a huge step backwards from what we were playing on the original Xbox. But with this game and the new class system and the way to actually earn points to play other characters, has made leaps and bounds over the first game. I really did enjoy my time playing the beta and playing on the Galactic Assault maps and playing either the clones or the droids, and I love the class system. But the one thing that I fear in this game is the loot crates. 2017 is pretty much the year of the loot crates. Every single game has a loot crate, and I feel like with Star Wars Battlefront 2 is that it has great gameplay, has a great class system, But the one thing that's going to turn people away is the loot boxes. The one thing that bothered me in the beta was the way to level up was to actually buy these crates to get star cards. Now I know they're changing it, but I know you can still buy some of these crates with real world money. I just really hope they're able to find a balance because I really do enjoy the game, but if people are going to be just buying their way to success in a pay-to-win game, which you're paying, you know, either $60 to $80 for this game, it's gonna really suck. Well guys, those are the games of 2017. I know I didn't cover everything, but I would love to know from you, what did you guys play this year? What games did you like? What games did you not like? We still have a few games left in 2017 until we get back into 2018, and hopefully we can end this year with a bang with a few games that are left. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please drop me a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new to the channel. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I will see you guys next time.